I appreciate you coming out, Mr. Roland, Ms. Bales. I appreciate y'all coming. Both chambers represented, Tim and Lisa. Thank you guys for coming out, and other media partners. It's a pretty exciting day. It's been a busy day already. We had our annual meeting with shareholders for Citizens National Bank earlier today, and we had some exciting news for our shareholders, and we felt like that it was also a really appropriate time for us to share our exciting news with the area. Citizens National Bank is almost 40 years old, and during that 40-year period of time, from our humble beginnings over here on 2005 Benton Road to where we are now, it has been a privilege to serve the citizens and the businesses of Northwest Louisiana. But we recognized some time ago, as we started to have a vision of being a more statewide company, that the Citizens brand, Citizens National Bank, had become something that had developed some brand confusion. There are other citizens that had moved to Bossier Parish. They finally figured out what we've known all along. In South Louisiana, there are other citizens, and there are actually 5 other citizens in the state, and even more remarkable than that, there's 176 citizens in the country. And so being able to develop a brand that we could own, that we could identify with solely, became an important project to us a little over a year ago, and so we've been engaged in that, and we want to announce that new branding to you today. I mentioned our humble beginnings. For those of you that don't know, Citizens National Bank is the 8th largest bank chartered in the state, which is remarkable, especially when you consider that there are 109 banks that are in the state. But even though it's great to be the 8th largest out of 109, for us it has never been about being the biggest bank or a bigger bank. It's always been about how can we position ourselves to be the best bank we can be for the communities that we serve. Because we had a realization some time ago that we could only be as successful as the communities that we serve. It would be impossible for us to be a great company if we didn't serve in great communities. And so this vision that we have to not just be Northwest Louisiana's community bank, but also to be Louisiana's community bank, has brought us to this point where we're going to have to say goodbye to our former brand. So we did this in our employee meeting. We didn't do it in the shareholder meeting because it was a bit irreverent. We're going to do it here just because it's fun and I'm nervous. And so we so appreciate what the brand has been to us over the last almost 40 years that we certainly need to say thank you. So we're going to draw an imaginary line down the room, and this side of the room is going to be thank, and this side of the room is going to be you. And so when I point to you, you're going to say thank. When I point to you, you're going to say you. All right, then we'll do it a couple of times till we get loud. So thank you. Thank you. Perfect. Y'all did it so much better than the employees. So, but what we've also got to say is we've got to say goodbye. So we're going to do the same things. This side of the room is going to be good, and this side of the room is going to be bye. So here we go. Goodbye. Goodbye. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege, without any further ado, to announce the new brand for Citizens National Bank, Bonvenu Bank. So there are a couple of things that you will notice about it. Bonvenu does have a French ring, and that is intentional. I mentioned earlier that we have an aspirational goal of being Louisiana's community bank, and giving recognition to our French heritage. Bonvenu is not a word until today. It's made of 2 other words: bon, which is of course French for good, and venu, which is bienvenue, shortened for welcome. And so the name quite literally means good welcome. And we feel like that really captures the essence of who we are as a company, to welcome our customers, our communities, and our potential customers into our bank. The other thing that you'll notice is the mark, the logo. And some of you will look at it and say, I see a crown. And some of you will look at it and say, I see a bridge. But actually you see both, and I'll tell you why. The bridge is a symbol of bringing things together. And whether that's the Shreveport-Bossier community that we've had the privilege to serve for the last several years, bringing those 2 communities, whether that's in Baton Rouge, where you have 2 sides of the river that come together, in the greater New Orleans area where we have the same river and bridge. It is that idea that as a trusted partner in the community, we need to be focused on bringing things together, whether that's coming together with customers, bringing financial solutions. It is important that we be that bridge in our community. But it is also a crown. And so when you think of Louisiana, most of us remember Louisiana, and it's referred to as the boot. And then when you think of the top of the boot is called the crown. And so we always want to remember our heritage is Northwest Louisiana, so the crown sits on top of the boot, which is symbolic of Northwest Louisiana in general, and Bossier City specifically being home. The process that we've been through on this rebranding started almost a year ago when the board of directors authorized us to begin the research. We had 3 different national companies. We ended up selecting one. Adrenaline has been an incredible partner for the rebrand, and it's something that we are excited about. We're also excited about this concept of being built to thrive. Back to that recognition that we can only be as successful as the communities we serve, and we want to help these communities be built, and we want them to thrive. A couple of things that are important to our customers. We have a name change, but all of your checks and your deposits and your debit cards, all of those things that you have that are Citizens National Bank branded will continue to work. But as we issue new debit cards, when you order new checks, then there'll be replacement. Also, you're going to see all over town advertisement starting the next few days where Citizens National Bank is becoming Bonvenu Bank. The actual effective date of the name change is April the 26th, so a week from tomorrow. But before there is the legal name change, we wanted to announce to all of our stakeholders that the new brand is coming and to start to celebrate that. That is all the prepared remarks that I have, even though I didn't look at any of my prepared remarks. But if anybody has any questions, then I'm glad to answer them.